Well, hello everybody. My name is Joe. I am a dietitian for WIC, and today is March 1st. I want to thank everyone for coming and joining us for this cooking class. March 1st brings the start of National Nutrition Month, and that is a time of the year to find a dietitian you love and adore and say, hey, awesome. But more importantly, it's more about awareness to bring forth better nutrition, better education for nutrition, and just health overall. Each year there is a theme for National Nutrition Month. This year the main theme is Fuel the Future, and WIC kind of takes a spin off of that and talks more specifically about what the future is. And the future for us, what we do at WIC, are the children. So our theme for National Nutrition Month is Kids in the Kitchen. And we thought we would incorporate kids in the kitchen by doing a cooking class. And I don't know anyone better to assist us with that than Chef Danica Stevenson, who is the founder of Sip Savor Soul. And she does incredible work with catering, and she does her own cooking demonstrations and classes a lot for children and adults. But she's a very strong person here in Akron that has been helping our youth with cooking and knowledge in the kitchen. And she can tell you a little bit more about herself, but I just can't see anybody better than her to help us today with two recipes that we have for you. We have a vegetable stir fry with chicken or tofu. Are we doing chicken or tofu today? Chicken. We're doing chicken today. And then we will have a second recipe, which is a lemon velvet supreme. And before we get started, since the theme is kids in the kitchen, if your kids are with you, that's awesome. If they are with you, why don't you comment in there and say, hey, they're helping me out, or maybe in the future they'll be helping me out. And I hope with some of these tips today, you'll really want to get them involved. But before I get too far along, I just have to throw some warnings out there. I know some of this stuff is just common sense, but grown-up must always be in the kitchen, if no matter how old the kid is and how skilled they are in the kitchen. Just keep all the children away from the hot and sharp items. Another thing before prepping is always wash all of your tabletops. Wash your hands. The kids can actually help out with like the washing the tabletops. And then the washing the hands, actually most foodborne illnesses can be spread just through improper cleaning and washing hands. So those important things to get your kids ready for in the kitchen, because they touch everything. So important for us to wash our hands, but your kids as well. So without further ado, I think we can get started with the recipe. And
all right, welcome you guys. Happy March 1st. Okay, this is spring, so we are springing into action. When I think of March, I'm thinking of spring, I'm thinking of new things to do. And so I'm so glad to be here in our cooking class. This is our first cooking class of 2023, so I'm super excited to be with you guys today. I hope you are excited just as much as I am. So welcome to our cooking class. I am Chef Danica Stevenson. Everybody calls me Chef Danny. Joe, thank you for the introduction. I am with Sip Savor Soul. You can see it right here with my logo. I do cooking classes for kids and adults in the community. I really truly believe, whether you're young or old, that cooking is a skill that everyone should know. So I heard we might have some young chefs cooking with us today. If you have some kids cooking with you guys, go ahead and let us know. We love our young chefs. We have actually a lot of kids that are on fire in the kitchen. Now, I'm not saying creating fires. I'm not saying that. I'm saying passionate. We have some young chefs out there that want to pursue this as a career, and I love that. So welcome again. And so we're not only doing we're doing two recipes today. We're actually doing a savory recipe, which is our veggie stir fry. We're gonna use chicken today because a lot of people like chicken. It's sort of like America's favorite meat in a way. We're gonna do the chicken. And then also, I love sweets. So we always have to kind of end it off with a nice little sweet. And actually, this is called Lemon Velvet Supreme. And the cool thing about this, it's very light and refreshing. It's one of those type of recipes that's really quick and easy to make. It's very kid friendly. You can definitely get your kids involved in making this recipe, and it's absolutely delicious. So we're always talking about something that's really easy to prepare. I know a lot of us are busy, and we're working and we're taking care of kids, taking care of the home. And the last thing that is just really, really, really hard to do sometimes is just come up with meals for your whole family. So this is really, really exciting. Like I said, it's going to taste good and it's easy to prepare. It doesn't take that long at all. So that way your whole family can enjoy. So if you are ready, put in the comments, say let's cook, let's do it. And also one thing, if you have a question, any question at all, there's no such thing as a silly question, but any question that you may have, put a Q in front of it so that way we can look at the questions and we can get you those answers. And if we don't know the answer, we will make sure we get your information so we can get that answer back to you. Okay, hopefully that sounds good. Now let's begin. First and foremost, I'm actually going to start with the sweet right now. And again, this recipe is called our Lemon Velvet Supreme. And the cool thing is velvet, when you think of velvet, you think of smooth, right? So this recipe is very smooth, creamy, and fruity. So with our recipe here, we have Jello, okay? So we have to give a shout out to Jello here. So this lemon, we actually have a lemon instant. We want it quick. So this is instant pudding here. We also have yogurt, okay? I'm sure you're saying, now wait a minute, hold on. Now when we make pudding, it's usually milk, right? And pudding to make a pudding, correct? Well, not necessarily. You don't always have to use milk to make a pudding. You could always use yogurt. So today, it's a little twist. We're gonna use yogurt, all right? And then we're gonna add some fruit to it. We have some mandarin oranges here, and we have some graham crackers, all right? So we're gonna build this and put it all together. All right, so let's get started. First things first, we need to make our lemon velvet mixture, and it actually comprises of two things. It calls for 2 cups of yogurt. So there's fat-free yogurt, vanilla. This is the one I'm using today. And you can, you can actually get the ones that are already individualized in packets. That's totally fine here. Like this is the 4-pack. That's totally fine. These are usually 6-ounce cups. They do have 4-ounce packages of yogurt. So for 1 cup is 8 ounces. You could do 2. Now this one here from Great Value is a little bit bigger, okay? These are 6-ounce cups. So what you want to do to measure that out would be one of these, which is 6 ounces, and 3 spoonfuls of the second one. Again, some yogurt is 4 ounces. So if it's 4 ounces, you would just need 2. Again, these are a little larger. Okay, so this is our vanilla yogurt. Next, we're gonna have 3 tablespoons of instant lemon pudding. Now, you're probably saying, what if my child does not like lemon? Okay, what happens if they like vanilla? That's fine, you can do vanilla. But we're doing something a little fruity today, okay? This is spring, fruity, light, refreshing, so we're gonna do lemon. And I already measured this out. This is 3 tablespoons. Okay, it's not the whole packet. Actually, one packet has about 5 to 6 tablespoons. You only need 3 for this recipe, all right? So once you do that, you're gonna mix it, and it looks like a pudding mixture anyway. The pudding consistency is right here. And I love the color. It's actually bright yellow here, just like springtime. As you can see right here, looks delicious. Now, if you need to make more, you can double the recipe, okay? So if you need to double the recipe, you can still put, it would be 16 ounces of, so it'd be like 4 cups of yogurt. And then I would use a packet. You can use 1 packet of this plus an additional tablespoon. So you would probably need 2 packets of instant Jello if you're trying to double the recipe, okay? So you would need 4 cups of yogurt, you would need 1 box of Jello, plus an additional box, and you're gonna scoop out 1 tablespoon, okay? So just in case you need to double the recipe, all right? a little math here, so I have to think of it in my head. So, all right, we have our lemon velvet. It's just so pretty, and it smells lemony. It smells awesome. All right, so we're gonna put that to the side. Now we need a layer. Okay, so we need a base to set this pudding in, and we're gonna make a simple graham cracker recipe. And all you need is some graham crackers here. And it calls for 8 crackers. Okay, we're talking about 8 whole crackers. Now, one package actually contains 9 crackers. So we're just gonna use 8, just like it says in the recipe here. And what you wanna do here is you wanna have a food processor. If you have one, you want to crush these real fine. Now, if you don't have one, I think this is the better way, and it's a lot more fun. Get you a Ziploc bag, you can crush them up, you can have your kids tap on them like this. Kids want to flex their muscles. It's a lot of fun if you want to do it that way. Might get a little messy, but it's still a lot of fun. But I have my little chopper here. It's my little mini chopper. And I'm just going to put a few at a time. I'm going to crush these. I'm going to just make it easier to make sure we crush these real fine. I'm actually hungry. I kind of want to eat a graham cracker, but I don't want you to tell anybody. All right. And the cool thing is, if you have a mini chopper at home, have your kids do this, okay? I mean, it's very safe. It locks if you have one of these at home. Get your kids involved with it. Okay? The kids can actually do this. It's a lot of fun. More here I'm going to add to this. Now the cool thing about the graham cracker base, I know some bases out there, let's say if you make cheesecake, you know, some of it requires like melted butter and sugar, and you don't really need all that, okay? Just for this recipe, it's a simple, just crushing some graham crackers, okay? Just to let you know, you don't need the sugar and the melted butter. You know, we're not baking this. This is not a crust, okay? It's just crushed graham crackers, okay? Didn't want to forget the 8th one. All right. There we go. Okay. There we go. I know this can get a little messy real quick. That's all right.
You got a little chef waving at you.
Huh?
With a little chef who's waving.
Hi! All right, chef. All right, now here's the thing. There's a few variations of how to make this. Like if you want to make this like put it in a pan and spread it out, you can. But I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm actually gonna make like little cups, little lemon velvet supreme cups. All right, I'm all about the cups. So I have my cups here. I'm all excited about this. Again, get the kids involved. You know, there's 4 of us here, so I have 4 cups. All right. Take this out. All right. Again, if you just want to lay it in a, you know, like a small pan, you can. Like if you want to make it like a cake per se, you want to spread it out, you can do that. But I prefer the cup because, again, these are just crushed graham crackers. We're not setting it like, you know, like you would make a crust for a cheesecake or something. So I think the cups is a lot more better. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle. This is the base. As you can tell, it's getting a little messy, but that's okay. It's still going to be good. All right. Maybe 2 scoops. You know, it's fine. Okay. All right. This is a good one here. Now we have our yogurt. And I can see here that it seized pretty quick. It got thick like a pudding pretty quickly here. Sometimes when you use milk or almond milk is another option, it just takes a while. You know, you're whisking. It takes forever. But the yogurt combined with the pudding mix here, it seized it, actually thickened it pretty quickly. All right, so what you want to do is And these smell amazing. This lemon. You might have little tiny cups, like for the kids. Let's say you're having a party. You can have those little Dixie cups and make them like that. I think that's really cute. All right. Get the next one here.
I remember growing up having those little Disney cups.
Uh-huh.
You get little plate sets with a Disney
Yes,
cup,
with
a
the
spoon,
Disney.
a fork.
I think this would be really cute if you had like a
Yeah.
nice little party. You can have these little cups. I think they're so cute. All right. Now we have some additional fruit here. We have some mandarin oranges here. We're just gonna put a few mandarin oranges in here. Now, it doesn't matter how many, okay? Kids love mandarin oranges. Adults love them too. So you can put that in here. Now, another option, okay? If you're not big on the mandarin oranges, pineapple, another option. Strawberry, blueberry, those fruits definitely complement the lemon. A lot of fruits complement the lemon. So if you want to do strawberry lemon, blueberry lemon, orange and lemon, you have multiple options here. Okay. And this looks so good. All right. Put a little bit more. All right. Now I got a surprise. Don't tell anyone. I like to make these really, 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 really cute. So I did bring a little surprise to go on these, okay? So don't tell anyone. I think it's gonna make it really cute, really appetizing, and people's gonna love it. So this is what I brought with me. Y'all weren't ready for this. Woo! There we go. I'll put a little bit more fruit at the top right there. I'm all about presentation. Get the kids involved. They can decorate. Put some more fresh fruit up here. And then if you would like to, just for a topper, as a garnish, look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, what you think? This looks amazing.
Looks delicious.
It looks delicious. Look at that. So you have your lemon velvet supreme cups right here. Now the whipped cream is optional. I wanted whipped cream because it's fun. Kids like whipped cream. So what I'll do, I'm gonna take a cup. I'm gonna try it. So this is for me. Just gonna take a bite. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely delicious. Okay. It's like a pudding parfait. Okay, you can definitely taste the lemon. It's very strong, but it's really, really good. It complements the orange very well, so it's not too tart. It's a nice balance of the orange and the lemon. And the graham cracker kind of sets it off. It kind of tones it if you're not looking for something too acidic, like if it's too lemony or too tart. That graham cracker and that orange balances out. It's really, really good. So any comments right now for those that made it? Any comments? Our young chefs out there, any comments? Or questions? Everybody's enjoying? I hope so. This is really good. No? Okay. Again, this did not take long at all, right? So some alternatives, again, if you're not big on lemon, there's tons of other flavors. So, you can always do vanilla as one. Now, for some, you're like, well, my child likes chocolate. Can I do chocolate? You can do chocolate. So you might want to do a chocolate instant pudding with the yogurt. You can slice some bananas on top of that. That's another option. Strawberries on top of it if you want to do the chocolate. But the yogurt and the instant pudding is a great combination. It's really, like that, the name is very smooth. It's very velvety. Hope you guys enjoy that. Any questions? Everybody's enjoying? No comments? Okay. That that was quick. I love that. All right, so what you want to do is you just want to put it in the refrigerator. You want it to chill so that way all the flavors can be absorbed. Okay, so go ahead and chill that. And then Joe's going to come back to share some information. And then we're going to go into our next recipe. Now we're going to go into some savory.
And I hope that all of you out there will have a chance and opportunity to make this with your children. I would like to share a couple things. Just one thing on the recipe, and then the rest I want to focus on the kids in the kitchen. So for this recipe, one of the main things that we had in there was the yogurt. And with the yogurt, it's not only is it a strong and good dairy food for you, it has a lot of protein in it, but there's something special about yogurt, and that's that it contains probiotics. And probiotics are something that go into your gut, and they help you break down. Probiotics are a type of bacteria, and they're good bacteria that can help you to break down different things that you digest in your food that might not be so good for your gut. So overall, probiotics help your immune system and help your gut health. So yogurt is a really good food to just mix in if you're rather than just drinking milk for all your dairy, mix in a little yogurt as well for the probiotics. And for activities you can do with your children, for this recipe, there were a lot of things you can do just depending on how old your child is. So for a 2-year-old, maybe not so much. You could have them wipe the tables down. You could read the recipe aloud to your child, or maybe even like you could have them throw stuff. Rather than like using spoons and everything, maybe with their clean hands, they can throw the Mandarin orders into the mixer or anything like that. 3-year-olds or a little bit older, they can actually do some of the mixing or add all the ingredients to the mixing bowl. And then with like a 4-year-old, you can have them, for this specific recipe, they could probably do some of the mashing by hand pretty good. If you did the graham crackers by hand, you could probably have them mash those graham crackers. So there's so many things you can do with the kids in the kitchen. Be creative. At each stage, there's always something. And just talking to them throughout the whole time will just get them more interested about the recipe, about the food. And the one thing that I'd like to mention, like, why is it important to have your kids in the kitchen? There's an obvious thing that it helps them. You're just spending time with them. But the main thing is that a child who spends more time with food and around food, they're going to be less picky, and they're going to be more open to a variety of foods. So getting your kids in the kitchen, it's a very important thing that can help them overall get off to a good start and be more open to try new things. So those are some items I wanted to talk about with this recipe, and Chef's just finishing up, getting ready for the next recipe.
Hope you guys enjoyed the Lemon Velvet Supreme. I don't know if you ate it now or you wanted to wait until we have our savory dish. I know a lot of people like to eat dessert after the meal, but I'm going to give you permission to take a few bites and let me know your thoughts. But now we're going to go into the savory, okay? So we wanted to let that Lemon Velvet Supreme chill a little bit. So our savory dish for today is our veggie stir fry, but we're actually not going to use tofu. We're going to use chicken today. And so before we even start with the chicken, it's important that we go ahead and make our sauce. Okay, so we're making a peanut sauce today. I will say this is very Asian inspired because of the peanut sauce. It's something that we use in Asian cooking. So we're gonna make it's Asian infused. So we're gonna do a peanut sauce. And in order to do that, it's very, very simple to make. But we have our ingredients here to make that. We have soy sauce, we have peanut butter, we have brown sugar, and we have fresh squeezed lime juice. All right. And we have some garlic, and I brought some ginger here as well. So we're gonna mix all these together here. It calls for 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Now, this is smooth, creamy peanut butter. If you want to use the crunchy, it's okay, because there's peanuts actually in this dish. So if you want to use crunchy peanut butter, you can. All right, we have our soy sauce. We have brown sugar. We have our fresh squeezed lime juice. Okay. Now it says also in this dish you can have garlic, minced garlic, or fresh ginger. If you don't have the fresh ginger, it's okay. I'm actually going to use both in this dish here. I'm just going to put a little bit of this is organic ground ginger. Like the minute I open it, it smells. It's really strong. So I'm just going to put enough for about a half a teaspoon in here, just for flavor here, and then a piece of garlic. It says you can use mince. You have to mince the garlic. Again, I just crushed 1 bulb of garlic. I made a mistake a long time ago when I first started. A recipe called for 3 cloves. These are cloves. I put 3 bulbs. So the audience didn't talk to me after that. So you want to go ahead and just take a clove. This is a clove. For this demonstration, I'm just going to do 1 here. 1 clove of garlic. And you want to mince it, okay? Now, I would recommend this for young kids. This is an adult. This is an adult activity right here with the knives. We care about safety, so this is let the adults do this. But you just want to mince the garlic, and what you want to do is you want to slice it. There's a line here. These lines. This is your guide to slice the garlic. So just gently, just like an onion. You want to do that. And then after that, you just want to go ahead and start cutting it into little pieces here. Mince means tiny. I mean, you want to take your time. You definitely want to take your time with this. So just go slow. It's not a rush here, but if you can. Now, I just had that fancy mini chopper. If you want to chop it in the mini chopper, you can. Now, if you have a lot of garlic and you want to go ahead and mince it, you can. Another thing you could do, let's say you have a little bit of garlic and you want to mince it. A coffee grinder does the same thing. However, if you use a coffee grinder to mince some garlic, that's it. You can't do it. Once you wash it, you still have the remnants of garlic. That's gonna be your chopper. I would not recommend putting coffee back in there. You will taste the remnants of garlic. All right, so I'm gonna put that in here. Just an FYI, just giving you some tips. Okay. All right, now what you want to do is just a quick whisk here. You want to mix the flavors well. Okay, this is important. Now the recipe says you want to put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. I want to say 30, I think it said 30 seconds.
That'll help soften that peanut butter.
It will help soften the peanut butter. So I'm going to put this in here for 30 seconds. Check it real quick. I didn't hit the one. All right, but 30 seconds for that. Any questions so far? Questions? Okay. All right, so before we deal with the chicken, I have some fresh vegetables here that we're going to use for our dish, not just the chicken. We want to add some fresh vegetables to it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take this out. All right, before I do the broccoli here, you see how it's softened? Now it looks more creamy. You see this? You see how it's turned into a sauce now? Now it's not clumpy like that peanut butter. You see it's smooth. It still looks like peanut butter, as you can see here. You see this? Okay. You just put that to the side. Literally 30 seconds, all right? Now we have our broccoli here. I want to use some fresh broccoli. And again, this is for adults only. But what you want to do is you want to just continue. And you want to continue to cut the stem part. And this is still good as well. But to get the broccolinis off of it, you don't have to pull it. But what you can do is you can just cut, You just go around in a circle, cut, cut, cut. You just keep going, cut, cut.
I'm just gonna throw an idea out there for kids in the kitchen. If you have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, and you want to do like a tug of war, you can let them like pull the florets off of the broccoli with each other. So just
broccolini, yeah,
yeah,
the
just-
broccoli.
just thinking of ways that just random things you can do just to have a little fun and get them
Yep.
involved.
Yes, thank you, Joe, for saying that. Yes, if you want to get your kids involved, you can pull them. It is a lot of fun here. I said broccolini here. I'm thinking of a different type of broccoli. These are just the florets. But yes, great idea. So I have some broccoli here. I also decided to bring a pepper out, so I have different colored peppers here. If you want to use that. I love color. When I think of stir fry, I think of color. So it's important to bring some color into your dish. So we have some peppers here.
I usually don't comment on the smell until we start heating things up a bit, but it already smells really good in here.
And what you can do is, if you want to, you can julienne. Julienne is just little thin slices here. You can. You gotta be careful. Again, just take your time. If you want to just julienne like strips, if you want to do that. So in order to do that, you just want to open it up and you want to flatten. You use your palm to flatten it straight, and then you just take your knife in a forward direction and go. And you control the size here. You control the size. Okay, just like that. All right. Because of time, I'm going to just do the one pepper here. Okay, just of time. All right. All right, so we have that. All right, so while I finish cutting that, we want like medium heat. And the thing is, our pan is already hot. You'll put like a tablespoon of oil in your pan. So it's already hot. All right, so we have some veggies here. Now you can use any veggies. I have some green onions here. I wanted to add onion. I love onion. Again, I think as far as how do you want to do your stir fry, I said it's a matter of palate and preference. Okay, you know, if whatever your kids' vegetable, whatever they like, go ahead and incorporate that in that stir fry. A lot of kids like carrots. You can put some carrots in here. Kids like broccoli. You can put some broccoli in here. Now, some kids may not like mushrooms. It's okay. But I would incorporate the vegetables that kids already like. Okay, I would incorporate that in there because you want your kids to eat vegetables. So whatever they like, you can incorporate that in your stir fry. There's no specific type of recipe for stir fry. That's what I like about stir fry. It's about variety, okay, and preference. All right, so I have that. So I cut up the green onion. That's just for me. I like green onion. Next, I have some chicken here. Now I have some chicken tenderloins here. You want to use another cutting board just for you don't want to cross-contaminate. So you would use another board. I'm just going to cut some pieces of chicken.
It's okay that she's using a knife because she's not going back and cutting up any more vegetables
No,
with that knife. So she can
That's
cut
it.
vegetables, then meat.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's why I started with the
Another little
vegetables
safety tip
first.
for you.
Yeah, that's why I did the vegetables first. Now, if you're doing tofu, for those that are maybe some vegetarians out there, you prefer tofu. If you buy a pack of tofu, you have to pat it dry because tofu is very wet. So you want to cut it, you want to pat it with a towel before you put it in this pan here because it's watery and that water and oil can pop back at you. You don't want that to happen. So if you have tofu, cut it up, pat it dry with a paper towel, then put it in your pan, okay? 8 minutes, but you want it to be nice and brown. Any questions so far? Questions? No? Okay.
I'd like to mention something about the recipe a little bit while we're waiting for some of this to cook. There's a whole lot going on in this recipe. Obviously, you have a bunch of vegetables going in here. You have some good protein with the meat. But the main thing on this recipe that we focused on that we wanted to share, that's also a WIC food, is the peanut butter. And the peanut butter is a great source of protein. It has about 7 grams per serving. And that is going to meet almost probably 25% of your daily value. So that's the protein is really what you need to help you build everything up in your body. Whatever it is, that every cell in your body needs protein. So having that protein is going to help do all that.
The chicken doesn't take that long to cook.
And then another safety tip with the kids are really close and in the kitchen with you. Anything hot in the skillet or on the stove, like in a skillet or anything like that. Some of that popping stuff, like what Chef Danny's doing, is she has a lid on top of it. And then a lot of the skillets that you have those handles. The recommendation is to point any handles like inwards towards the middle of the stove, so the taller kids can't reach up and pull them down or anything. So just another little safety tip if the kids are really involved with you.
I would also say too, another way to get your kids involved in the kitchen is actually something that doesn't have anything to do with being in the kitchen. Setting the table. It's just as important. So it's important to start it, but it's important to finish too. So have your kids set the table, get the plates, get the cups, get the napkins, get the silverware. So setting the table is still part of that process. It's the finishing process, but it's still a process when it comes to cooking. So I always want to add that. It's important. The kids love setting the table. Have them do that. Okay, as you can see here, it's browning. Turn this on a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my vegetables to it. I have a little bit of water here because you want to add a little bit of water because you have fresh vegetables. Okay, so it's going to soften, it's going to cook that broccoli, it's going to soften the broccoli, it's going to soften your peppers. So you want to put a little bit of water in there. And it's going to generate steam. So you want to close the lid, generate some steam, and your broccoli, any vegetables that you have in here, it's going to steam them. So you want to put a little bit of water in your pan. Okay? This is the time where you can put water in there. And it won't cross and contaminate because the chicken is already started the browning process. So that way it's okay to add your vegetables. Okay. Any questions so far? All right, so while that is cooking, like I said, we have our peanut sauce ready to go. We actually are going to add some peanuts as a topper, like a garnish if you want. If you have fresh herbs like parsley, basil, you could add that. If you have some fresh herbs out there, you can go ahead and put that on the top as a garnish once this is complete. And then also too, with your stir fry choice, you can either do noodles. I have rice here. I love this. This comes in handy. Actually, the kids can do it. I shared earlier with the team here that I like to pierce it, or you can just tear a little of the top off here, because if you put this whole thing in the microwave, it generates steam so quickly and it starts to expand. Your bag may bust in your microwave. That's actually happened to me. So if you just tear it a little bit, or you just pierce with a fork, it will prevent that from happening. Okay. Any questions? And as you can see here, the steam here is actually steaming the vegetables here. I can see the change. Any questions? I'm gonna go wash my hands real quick since I had the chicken. All right. This is a quiet group out there, so I hope you guys are just enjoying cooking together as a family, you know, cooking with your kids. This is all very exciting. I'm going to grab a plate so we can start because it's almost done. So I've got my plate here. A little plate here. As you can tell, cooking is messy, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
And just like Chef Danny was saying, setting the table is a part of the process.
Yes.
Cleaning up is part of the process
Cleaning
too.
up is part of the process.
Kids can help with that.
Yes, that is so true. Kids don't mind setting up. Kids don't mind setting up. They don't want to clean up, but that is part of the process. Get them involved in the cleanup, please.
Even the kids as young as 2 years old, those kids are really good at throwing stuff away. So if you have any scraps or anything, I mean, they'll throw that away, and your car keys and anything else you have.
And root them on. You know, when they do something, if they help set the table, if they help rinse the vegetables, encourage them. You are their biggest cheerleader. Okay, and that will encourage them to continue to do it. So you are their biggest cheerleader. So anytime they do something, a cooking activity, any part of that process, get excited and root them on. Okay, they love that. All right, so we have our rice. Okay. Now I believe, I think I forgot. I want to say you're supposed to add the sauce. Some people want to add the sauce to it, but hey, you might have some folks that don't want the sauce. You might have some kids, I don't want peanuts. I don't want the sauce. That's okay. It's an option. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it an option. If everybody wants it, then you can actually put the sauce in here and cook with it so it can marinate all the flavors, because you want the vegetables and your chicken or tofu, you want it to marinate, you know, you want all those flavors to marinate. Now, if you don't, like you say, you might have a child that don't want the sauce. They might say, I want ketchup. I don't know. You never know. So if they prefer not to have the sauce, okay, that's okay. You can just go ahead. Before that, I'm going to rinse this real quick. Okay. Just going to take a little bit out. Can't forget the pepper. And you can turn the temperature down. Okay. This is a really quick dish. Just me. I'm just gonna put a little sauce on it. Again, if the whole family is eating this, you can go ahead and put it in here and cook. And just let it cook with it, okay? Oh, peanuts. Option, again, option. We'll give it a try here. Now, for this particular stir fry, I know I have a little tiny plate here. I'll probably have some bowls, okay, for everybody. Just some bowls. All right, we'll take a bite. Sorry. It's hot. As you can tell. Ooh, but shout out to the sauce. It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. The soy sauce works well with the peanut butter. The lemon, that lime is a perfect balance. There's a little sweetness to it. It's actually really, really good. It's excellent. Yeah, so the brown sugar and the peanut butter and the soy. The lime juice kind of neutralizes it, so it's not overly sweet. It's a nice balance. Okay? And there you go. So you have your savory, you have your sweet. I hope you have a nice dinner. We're all gonna have a nice dinner. Any questions, comments? We'd love to hear from you. Did you enjoy yourself? Did you have a good time? Did your kids, our young chefs here, our young chefs of Summit County, did you learn something? Did you have a good time?
Okay, well, thank you all for coming to the class. We really appreciate it again, and happy National Nutrition Month. Have a great night.
Thank you.